What's up, guys? Bullfather Fell-Handed here, bringing you another edition of MapQuest. Here we are on Elrenburg Blizzard. We are in a standard battle in the Tier 10 French medium tank, the Batchat 25T. The greens have spawned on the western side, the reds have spawned on the eastern side. Now, normally you're not going to see the caps this close together. I mean, you know, the caps are a couple of 100 meters apart. Very odd, but given, of course, the circumstances of exactly, you know, the terrain, you know, that's to be expected. You can have it a little close together, nobody would be the wiser. So, right now, we are going right flank, going out here to the fields, kind of see what we can get going on, but at the same time, we don't exactly want to be the first ones into the breach, so to speak, because the first one in always gets shot more or less to pieces. So there's a time to scout and a time to say, hey, what exactly is going on over here? And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to pull up and wait and see if anyone is going to get detected, and, you know, if we have shots on them. Now, most likely, you know, we are not going to have shots due to the range, but we can kind of get a feel for what is going on the board. Now, normally, if you were on Elrenburg and it was your typical, you know, sunny weather, you would have shots. Yes, if somebody appeared over there, say J8, J9, you'd say, oh yeah, I could do some work from here. But with the blizzard, you know, your spotting distance is dramatically decreased, just like your Pacific Island Typhoon, so on and so forth. So right now, you know, we're trying to get some shots in here. We've got a guy who is extremely aware of what's looking at him. He has a very good idea that there's a small army over here, and you know what? He's not wrong. You never want to pull out on a tank like the Batchat to where they can just empty the clip in you. As you see right here, one of the most heavily armored heavy tanks, and we're just drilling rounds in his lower plate. 3 pins tracked him, you know, however many other shots that the greens put into him. So you just have to be cautious. So we had a round left in the clip. We're going to go ahead and dump the mag, do a tactical reload. Now, if you take anything away from this video, whenever you're reloading, you need to be advancing, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're just going to push up here, we're going to get a little bit more cover, and then we're just going to kind of see what's going on. Looking for shots of opportunity here. And, you know, this is a target-rich environment. They just need to present themselves, and that's what we are waiting on. We are waiting on them to present themselves. We have excellent shots here. We're just waiting on the gun to come up. And this is nothing but good clip management. This is, as soon as the gun comes up, you need to have targets. You need to go ahead and empty the drum as quickly as possible. And that's just good auto loading, not necessarily Batchat. You could apply that to any other auto loader, you know, your favorite auto loader, whatever. Clip management, you know, as soon as the gun comes up, you need to be in a position where you can empty it. And that's what we're doing. And I'm not saying you need to take foolish shots, but you need to be ready and, you know, in that position to where you can do some work. Granted, of course, the last couple of rounds we had there, we had a few troll bounces, you know, and, you know, you're going to get that. You're going to have a completely red tone, and you're going to empty the clip, and every single one of them is going to bounce. And that's just how it is. RNG is either with you or against you. Very rarely is RNG completely middle of the road. And of course, I think we've all been on the opposite side of RNG. You know, you just can't seem to do anything. You get pinned no matter where you're at. So, another good shot, lower plate of the IS-7. And that is typically a tank people have a heck of a time dealing with in any area. And this tank, the Batchat, can just cut through those things like nobody's business. Of course, it's all about knowing your weak spots and knowing where to aim. You know, you need to aim in the lower plate, or if you're shooting at the side, you need to aim between the flat side of the armor and the tracks. You want to actually shoot the hull of the tank underneath the armor there. The actual flat side of the armor is actually spaced 45-degree armor. The armor is angled at 45 degrees and then has a spaced armor on it to give it the appearance of flat armor. You can penetrate the side of the spaced armor, and it happens, but it is, however, unlikely. If you pull that up in Armor Inspector and look at the spaced armor on the IS-7, it will be quite revealing, as it does not appear to have spaced armor. Kind of like your Super Pershing. That's obviously, you're like, hey, that tank's got spaced armor. IS-7? Tricky. Moving on. The teams, for the most part, are about the same. You know, and in this certain situation, we're not necessarily looking to try to make a huge impact. We want to get in here. We want to get some pins. It's not necessarily clutch mode for us, but at the same time, we kind of want to clean up house. We want to do what we can. Now, as you'll see, originally I was, you know, right shoulder. I was auto-aimed on the back of the E5 there. And you'll notice, as he turned, I switched over to manual scope. A lot of my videos, you know, sometimes you'll see me do something odd, and it's on purpose some of the times, most of the time. Let's go ahead and say most of the time, because I'm very analytical. I always want to know the why of that particular incident. You know, why this happened. If I do this, why exactly will this happen? And in this case, I was just being efficient. The E5 turned, and as we all know, if the E5 turns, occasionally you'll get a bounce off the side. So in that case, I went for the scope, and we took care of him on the scope. And that's, you know, that's just good tanking. So we go ahead and we get rid of the E3, and we're kind of rolling up here. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that guy. So we kind of got a little clip happy. And essentially at this point in the game, I'm the last one left alive. All I want to do is get this last clip in, and I just want to make these people pay for it. But it doesn't look like I'm going to get it. I got a good ram there, and he's just going to burn me to the ground. There's nothing I can do about it. Guys, thank you so much for watching MapQuest Elrenburg Blizzard. I was about to say Renberg. Elrenburg Blizzard, 5,993 damage. We did what we could do. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you guys next time.
I'ma catch this motherfucker slipping, slipping.